Das ist einfach ein Spiel übers Leben. Was man mit den Augen steuert. Und das ist halt das Besondere daran. Okay, Chat. Hä? Chat, also es funktioniert Tatsache mit der virtuellen Kamera. Weil normalerweise wäre jetzt die Kamera hier und dann hättet ihr keine Cam mehr. Alter, wie lustig ich aussehe darin. Das ist ja richtig zusammengezogen. What the fuck? Okay. Solange deine Kamera aktiviert ist, erfasst und erfolgt das Spiel Daten, wenn du blinzelst, um dein Spielerlebnis zu verbessern. Die Daten werden in kleiner Weise gespeichert, weitergeleitet, aufgenommen. Das Spiel sich lediglich dazu die Augen erkennen. Okay. Weiter. Trägst du eine Brille? Nein. Achte darauf, dass dein Gesicht gleichmäßig beleuchtet ist und deine Augen sichtbar. Ja, super, jetzt spiele ich hier mitten im Dunkeln. Okay, aber ich denke mal, das sollte funktionieren, oder? Positioniere deinen Kopf so, dass der Kasten grün bleibt. Oh, ganz kritisch. Oh mein Gott. Der Kreis darunter sollte sich immer dann füllen, wenn du blinzelst. Holy shit! Wie geht das? Empfindlichkeit kalibrieren. Sieh auf deinem Bildschirm blinzeln ein paar Mal, während wir deine Augen kalibrieren. Blinzeln, um die Kreise zu füllen. Blinzel am besten so, wie du normalerweise blinzelst. Oh mein Gott, ich weiß aber gar nicht, wie ich normal blinzel. Jetzt achte ich ja da drauf. Wie gut wurde jedes Blinzeln erkannt? Alle erkannt. Waren sehr gut. Falls das Spiel dein Blinzeln nicht mehr korrekt registriert, drücke die Leertaste, um die Erinnerung neu zu laden. Wahrscheinlich. Okay, Spiel starten. Chat, es geht los auf ein Abenteuer. Mit den Augen. Yay. Bei diesem Spiel geht es ums Blinzeln. Denn jedes Mal, wenn du blinzelst, wird das vom Spiel registriert.
It's mine. Well, hello there, stranger.
Hey!
Ooh, you're a real bright and shiny one, aren't you? I asked you for your name, but sadly you got no mouth to speak with, or...
Alter, wie krass. Chat, ich glaube aber, es ist ein bisschen... Ich kann die Lautstärke... Also das ist wirklich... Wie kann das sein, dass man ein Spiel entwickelt, ohne dass man die Lautstärke einstellen kann? Das ist ja übel weird. Oder ist das versteckt oder so? Kann man nicht. Grafikqualität hoch. Ja, super. Ja, jetzt ist es zu leise. Ich hasse diesen Lautstärke-Mixer in Windows. Ich glaube so 13 vielleicht. Chat ist so okay?
So we're gonna have to find another way.
Chat so?
See, what you'll
oder lauter?
find is, even though you're no longer in your body's still inside of you. If that makes any sense. So, if you understand what I'm saying, blink over my hand here.
Bro, du siehst echt lustig aus, Mann.
You remember blinking, don't you?
Passt so? Super? Zu leise?
1,000 times a day.
Ein bisschen lauter. Okay, ich... Hallo, chill. Muss ein bisschen lauter machen, mein Freund. Okay, so.
Ooh, well look at that. You're a blinking genius.
Ja.
I knew you were special.
Oh.
You see all them poor souls down there, lost in the waves? I didn't choose any of them. I chose you. See, I just sometimes get a sort of a hunch, or what's a
Chat, das sind alles Seelen.
notion? Better word than that.
Vogel.
Ah, premonition. A premonition when a soul's worth pulling up. Now you see that tower out there? The big, scary one? That's where
Alter.
I'm taking you to see the gatekeeper, to be judged. I'm gonna present your case, tell her the whole story of your entire life, from proud to stern. Now if she's impressed, I get paid the big coin, and you get yourself a spot in her magnificent city.
Holy
If she
shit.
ain't, well, I eat seagull for dinner again, and you, well, we don't have to worry about that, because I am the best orator you'll find on these sickly waters. Class A storyteller, believe you me. Oh, shut up, trash birds. You had your chances. It wasn't my fault you were no good. Layabouts.
Sind das auch Seelen?
Unsatisfactory. Clock watchers. I got some words for you.
Was? Okay. Ellie, hab eine wunderschöne Nacht. Pass auf dich auf.
Sorry you had to hear that. Ooh. So sure, maybe I'm not the most verbose storyteller out there, but I know how to spin a yarn if I'm given something to work with. And that's where you come in. Your life. You're gonna show it to me. I want to see exactly what made you so absolutely great. So,
Oh.
just think back.
Oh, Chat, wir gehen das ganze
Very
Leben
beginning.
durch.
The first thing that you can remember. I'm gonna send you there. But understand, no matter how much you like it, you're not gonna be able to stay, alright?
Uff.
Every time you blink, you're going to jump forward in time. Could be a second, could be 5 years. That's just
Oh.
how this thing works. Alrighty then. I hope he's ready for this. Now, the next time that you blink, I'm gonna send you back.
Ich blinze die ganze Zeit aus
Don't be
Versehen.
afraid.
Ich will
Don't
nicht.
try to fight it.
Ich musste.
And just try to enjoy it this time.
Wow. Chat, das ist bis jetzt voll krass. Ich hab jetzt schon Gänsehaut.
Look at that sun. We've got a long, beautiful day ahead of us. Why are you smiling like that? You must really like it out here, huh?
Okay, wenn ich jetzt blinzel, dann geht's weiter. Holy shit, ich will aber doch... Oh mein Gott, Chat, ich muss aber doch die ganze Zeit blinzeln. Ist das unsere Frau? Oder
Let's go
Freundin?
get you some seashells. What do you say?
You see that big spiky plant over there? That's called an agave. 11 years from now, that plant will die so it can give birth to this tall, amazing tree, covered in flowers. We'll have to keep our eyes on that one.
Day really slipped away, didn't it?
Die Mutter? Stimmt, das könnte
Oh,
unsere
well,
Mutter sein.
Days have a tendency to do that, I guess. Now, where's the first page of my piece? I can't find it anywhere.
Boah, sieht voll schön
Did
aus.
I put it in here? No.
Alter, du Rabauke! Frech! Einfach geklaut. Was soll denn das? Boah, Jet, das ist übel krass, dass du blinzeln, das Leben geht weiter.
Look at that. There's your little hand.
We have to make him do this every birthday.
That's a great idea. You know, it'll really be something to see how he grows. Man, the zoom on this thing is...
Oh, you want to play along with Mommy, don't you? Give it time. I'm sure you'll be...
Badewanne! Chat! Wow, voll das coole Boot.
Sounds good, honey!
I'm sending it to my mentor next week. It has to be perfect.
Wie süß.
Well, sounds pretty perfect to me.
Mag ich, danke
What do
dir,
you
Mann.
like about it?
Liebe an dich.
What do I like about it? I like the music.
That's right. Look at his little face. What do you think he's thinking about?
I don't know.
Oha, das ist so schön gemacht.
Problems of the universe.
Holy shit. Komm mal, Chat, das ist einfach dieses Bötchen, oder?
So,
Und jetzt sind wir gerade so mit dem Baby, oder?
do you think he's going to be smart?
I don't see why not.
No, it's
Krass.
not derivative. At least I didn't think it was. Do you think you could tell the other members of the selection committee what I just told you? Right. No.
Achso, ich muss gar nicht blinzeln. Chat, wir lieben
I
dieses
guess I just
Boot.
put a lot of expectation on this call. Okay, I understand. Thank you for considering my piece, John. It really means a lot. Oh,
Chat.
that's sure a little mess of
Genau so
color.
mal ich auch. Was, ich soll es wegschmeißen?
You know, if you keep working at it, one day you'll be able to paint exactly what's in your head.
Das ist gelogen. Das habe ich bis heute nicht gelernt. Tut mir leid, Liebelein, aber das ist gelogen. Baby Grand Piano.
See? That used to be my piano. My dad gave it to me. He loved music. Fled his home country just to have a chance to pursue it.
Marc, Dankeschön, Mann. Das bedeutet mir viel. Vielen, vielen, vielen Dank.
God,
Ganz viel Liebe
he
an dich,
made me
Mann.
practice so much. I hated it at first.
High School?
I think he hoped to make it further.
Okay, Benny. Are you ready to see something
Chat, das ist so
really
krass, ne?
special?
Weil man macht das so im
I
Unterbewusstsein.
just don't want him to get
Ich denke gar nicht
attached.
darüber nach, irgendwie zu blinzeln oder so, und du plötzlich bist du weg. Und wie dieser Typ im Boot schon sagte, so, du kommst nie wieder zurück, so, das ist übel krass irgendwie. Du willst diesen Moment, solange es geht, erleben in dem Spiel, aber du blinzelst und dann ist der Moment weg.
Richard,
What?
that's the cutest
Oh.
thing I've ever seen.
Oha!
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
We can't keep him, can we? I mean, I'm pretty much definitely allergic, so no,
Wie
right?
süß ist er denn?
No. We'll find someone to take him. But while he's here, I say we call him Ernie.
Chat, wir haben ein Kätzchen bekommen. Guck.
Now play the C major chord I taught you.
Oh, da ist aber jemand krank. Hör mal. Oh, guck mal, sie hat uns das sogar beigebracht. Oh, wie süß.
There you go. Doesn't that make you feel happy? Like you just want to jump up and down? Now what about C minor?
Boah, ich habe da ja gar keine Ahnung von sowas, ne? Ich habe so gar keine Ahnung.
Very good. Just one note different. That one sounds sad, doesn't it? Amazing what a difference one little change can make on how a person feels.
Oh, die ist voll süß, die Katze.
Sort of like me and your little friend on your piano there.
Stimmt, guck ihn jetzt schon wieder. Mir fällt's gerade auf. Ich habe schon wieder die Zeit geskippt, obwohl ich es eigentlich länger aushalten wollte.
Prayed to God I could somehow keep up. I think she liked that I was a professor. Gave me a certain gravitas in her eyes, you know, which I very quickly lost. God, she dragged me to so many places.
Leon, hab eine wunderschöne Nacht.
Wonderful.
Sind wir jetzt älter geworden und können dann im Klavier von Mama spielen.
Wait, that's my piece. How did you figure out how to play that?
Profi!
Richard, are you hearing this?
What?
He's playing my piece. He must have figured it out by ear. I mean, I was a gifted kid, but he's brilliant. We need to get him into serious piano lessons.
Immer das Gleiche. Chat, wie nennen wir die Katze? Chat, schnell, ich brauche einen Namen für die Katze.
Oh God, I have my interview
Schnell,
in 5
los, los,
minutes
los, los,
and I
los, los,
completely
los, los.
forgot to feed him.
Chat, schnell. Wir brauchen einen Namen für die Katze. Die ist ja mega süß. Oh, guck mal, so würde ich die zeichnen. Genau so. Oh, scheiße, guck. Und schon wieder weg.
Excuse me, of course, sir. It's all organized into folders, sitting ready on my kitchen table. They will literally be on your desk when you get in. What could possibly
Milo,
happen with the files between
Pünktchen,
now and
Suko, Lucy.
We are-
Anna, dankeschön für die 15 Monate. Ich hoffe, dir geht's gut. Fufu? Sina sagt immer Funi zu den Katzen. Oha!
Toller kleiner als 3.
Oha, das Level... Protest! Das Level hätte niemals... Würde ich niemals schaffen.
When's he coming?
I'm flying him out in February, remember? You know, I think he was pretty surprised that I could actually afford to do that.
Hey, why not? You're a working woman now.
Ernie
Yes,
Gerald.
that's true.
Lucky.
Go to your head, but yeah.
Please let the cat know. It's time to use the litter box, though.
Baby steps. He's got one eye.
Das war ein Apple. Ein MacBook. Es gibt Spaghetti. Jimmy ist toll.
This is called a metronome. We use it to measure time so we don't get lost in the music. I want you to start using it before Grandpa comes to visit.
Oh weia. Chat, habt ihr sowas schon mal benutzt?
You know, my
Habe ich
father
noch nie
once
gesehen,
told
in
me
echt, ehrlich
when I
gesagt.
was about your age. The only way to fight against time is to create a work of genius, which might live on after you're gone.
Das ist eine krasse Sache. Wenn du es schaffst, ein Meisterwerk zu machen, was einfach so nach dir weiterlebt.
So I
Egal, ob es
asked
jetzt ein Foto ist oder irgendwas anderes, das wäre voll
What about
krass.
your children? Thinking, you know, I might be a work
Zum Beispiel
of genius
Kinder.
just as I was. He said, yes, I suppose. If you made a work of genius, I could live on through that as well.
Aber was bedeutet das
How's this
jetzt?
look for me?
So-
But I do wonder what'll... I haven't seen him in over 10 years. Can you believe that?
10 Jahre.
I wonder if he'll even recognize me.
Holy shit. Holla die Waldfee, ich danke dir. Küsschen. Ja, du bist das Meisterwerk. Chat, Mann, sind wir nicht alle Meisterwerke? So in dem Sinne? Oh oh. Es ist dunkel, Chat. Fuck! Ich wollte nicht blinzeln! Ich hab's trotzdem getan.
You really need to stay in time with the metronome, okay?
Oh Gott.
Subdivide the time. 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e. You're off. You're off, Ben. You can't hear that?
Hä? Bitch, das hat sich doch echt gut angehört, oder nicht?
There you go, buddy. Okay, now keep a firm grip on it, just like that.
Das ist ja wie ein Film.
Oh my. I think you like that, pal. Sorry, buddy. Turn around, L, so we can photograph you.
I'm just really behind right now. Why don't
Erstmal
you take
Amok
photos in the
laufen mit der
backyard?
Kamera im Haus, auch sehr geil. Habe ich damals auch gemacht, als wir kleiner waren.
Ernie,
Ernie.
buddy,
Ernie!
Ernie.
Guck mal, die suchen
Ernie,
uns.
we need you!
God, L, what if you got eaten by a coyote?
Ein Kojote?
Dinosaurs would be eternally indebted.
Hallo, ich mache nur
What?
Fotos.
Did you just say?
No, I said I'm really worried. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
God, honey, I'm worried too.
Ach so, die sorgen. Unsere Katze! Ich dachte, die meinen uns!
Ernie, kid, come to Papa.
Nein!
I know you're mad about last night, but this is ridiculous.
What happened last night?
Nein.
So you're saying it's a coincidence that it disappears for weeks and then comes back with a huge belly?
But
Schwanger?
Ernie's a boy.
And you're sure about that?
Vielleicht ist Ernie gar. Ernie ist schwanger.
Uh-huh. And that was based on...
Ernie ist schwanger. Veganer, hab eine wunderschöne Nacht und Dankeschön für deinen ganzen Support. Mimi, dir natürlich auch. Dankeschön.
He keeps coloring the grass blue, the ocean green, and then the sky red.
And what's wrong with that?
No, are you kidding? I love it. Are you able to pick up the new book?
Yes, the Regalian, the particular interest.
I meant
Oh, Chat, wir haben Dinosaurier.
Yeah, got this too.
extremely expensive, right?
You know, can't put a price on learning.
I mean, they did. And it's stupidly big.
Oh, das ist aber jetzt. Düster. Nin, ich danke dir. Eine dicke Umarmung an dich. Und einen wunderschönen Abend wünsche ich dir.
impossible that you could ever play something so complex, but just take it one day at a time. Trust me.
Ja, irgendwie verstehe ich nicht so ganz, was meine Mission ist. Okay, also wir üben sehr
Really getting
viel.
there, honey? Next week we'll start working on your other hand.
Ah, doch, ist doch richtig.
Okay.
The quiz said find the zero, and he just drew an arrow pointing to it.
Well, what's wrong with that?
I mean, everything is wrong with that.
Also wir mochten wirklich Dinosaurier. Ich weiß gar nicht, ob ich als kleiner Junge Dinosaurier so gefeiert habe. Aber als ich im Kindergarten gearbeitet habe, Junge, alle haben Dinosaurier gefeiert, aber des Todes.
This isn't my house. It's not my house.
Right, it's my house. You have 5 minutes to get down and I'll drive it back.
Not my house. Not.
Junge Riecher protestieren. Oh nein, die ziehen um oder was? Alter.
Fall back, you fool.
Oder sind die eingezogen?
I'll have your heads. I'll feed them to the cat.
Chloe, come play inside. It's late.
Hey, you. Yeah, you.
Freunden wir uns mit denen an?
Yes, Mr. Camera Boy. I'm talking to you.
Boah, wir bewegen uns sogar von selber. Vor allem wie langsam.
Why are you always out here taking photos?
Mag
You
es
know,
Fotos
if
zu
you
machen.
really want to take a photo of something cool, you should take a photo of this.
Edel.
Gen hofft, ihr geht besser. Allen
Senses, Mann, Dankeschön für die 6 Monate.
Benny's about to
Ganz viel
play for
Liebe
us.
an dich. Ganz viel Liebe an dich. Dankeschön. Vielen, vielen, vielen Dank. Sehr schüchtern, ja. Oh, Chat, jetzt Oh nein, hinter uns sind Leute. Oh Gott, müssen wir jetzt für so eine Feier Geburtstag spielen? Oh Gott. Chat, es sprudelt einfach aus mir raus. Ich kann's einfach.
Wow, L, he's unbelievable. My God, I didn't realize our head of accounting was raising a musical prodigy.
Didn't you used to be a composer yourself, Elle?
I don't know if I'd say that.
But you used to write your own music, right?
Yeah, but I haven't
Alter,
done that in years,
Chat.
not since he was 4 or 5 years old.
And what do you...
Easy. Der Profi am Werk. Oh ne, jetzt sind wir in der Schule. Der wie heißt der nochmal? Oberherdprojektor oder so? Oberherdprojektor? Ich weiß gar nicht, wie die heißen.
I wrote you something.
Oh, Chat ist sie. Was hat sie uns geschrieben? We are in the same class. What are in coincidence? Please keep in mind that while we are at school. Achso, ich muss verbinden. Rede nicht mit mir, niemals. Was? Wir sind in derselben Klasse? Was für ein Zufall. Bitte denkt daran, dass wir uns in der Schule nicht kennen. Rede nicht mit mir. Niemals. Alles Liebe, Chloe.
Now I will go on to the next slide. Chloe, tell me, what did the quote say?
Was, ne Bitch?
Right, I definitely know.
Sind wir zu uncool für dich? Alter, sympathisch.
Taking notes, weren't you, Chloe?
It's that people who
Ja,
are
die
in
sind
the
trotzdem
past
Ehrenmenschen.
always remember. I don't know what I'm saying.
Ja, genau, halt deine Fresse. Asozial. Was glaubt ihr eigentlich, wer sie ist?
Father not to buy you that thing, but he insisted. Half suspect he bought it for himself.
Oh, Chat, diese Musik, Mann, holy shit. Aber irgendwie ist es krass, weil du hast wirklich, irgendwann ist es einfach Reflex, dass du blinzelst. Und dann vergeht das Leben so schnell. Also in-game und natürlich in echt auch. Oha, sind wir im Urlaub? Oh, wir sind 11 Jahre alt geworden.
I've definitely seen you next door, but I didn't realize you guys had become friends.
Oh, sure. We sit together in history class. I don't know what I'd do without old Benny.
Very sweet. Thank you for playing his game with him.
Your dad just thanked me for hanging out with you? That's a very interesting detail.
No, Chat,
Okay, shut
Mann.
up. I really want this one.
Okay, also wir waren ein Kind, was jetzt anscheinend schon Probleme hatte, so mit Freunde finden.
It's about an hour away in a town called Burton. I know the change can be scary, but I just want you to go in and meet the dean I spoke with. You know, life can take you to some incredible places if you're really, really good at it.
So what do you think, Benjamin? You think you could excel in that sort of an environment?
Nein. Nein, das ist so eine Hochschule oder so ein Scheiß, ne?
Oh, not to worry. If he's as gifted as you say he is, shyness is no problem. Why don't you two come back closer to the end of the year for an audition?
Chat! Junge, das ist, da willst du gar nicht auf die Schule.
To hear what your son is capable of.
Guck mal, alleine der Hund ist eingebildet und abgehoben.
As you can see, there are some very fast runs in there, and a lot of stuff I've not taught you properly yet. So no pressure. I just want you to try, and we can see if you start enjoying it.
Ah, nee.
Just like to see you really rise to the occasion, just this once. I wish I had the option of going to a school like that when I was your age.
Guck mal, das ist so ein typisches Problem einfach, ne, dass Eltern sowas eben sagen, ne, so, ich hätte aber mir gewünscht, ne, dass ich damals eben diese Option hätte, das zu tun, so. Ich finde, das ist so kacke einfach, ne, weil das ist ja so von wegen, dass du deinem Kind praktisch dein Leben aufzwingst. Vielleicht wollen wir das ja gar nicht.
Working this boring job or living in this boring town, I'll tell you that. What was that?
Da, siehst du? Piss dich aus dem Fenster raus. Wie? Du drängst mich hier rein. Werfen.
Oh my God, Benny! What are you thinking?
Tja, ich hätte uns fast umgebracht. Shit. Days Until Audition. 30 Tage noch. Oh mein Gott. Chat, wir werden hier so richtig reingedrückt in dieses Leben als Musiker, Klaviermensch.
Don't answer that, Ben. You can talk to your friend after you practice.
Nein, ich will rangehen. Ich scheiß drauf. Ich will rangehen. Nein! Scheiße. Ich darf nicht. Junge, das ist doch kein Jetzt!
Oh my God. Is she really calling you again? What, is she obsessed with you?
Junge, das nennt man Freundschaft, du dumme Sau. Kennst du anscheinend nicht. Nicht gehorchen! Nicht! Mach!
Anubis, in the presence of Ma'at, who you remember is the goddess of truth and justice, would weigh the deceased soul against a feather, determining whether it was worthy of entering into her land of the dead.
Der hat aber irgendwie eine lustige Stimme.
And what if they are deemed unworthy? Well, you can see that ugly furball under the scale.
Tja, das ist einfach eine Szene. Tja, das ist einfach eine Szene aus meiner Schulzeit. Halt ohne Witz. Genau so. Ich gucke an die Tafel und ich sehe nur das in meinem Kopf.
That is Amamet, and she's got, and yes, that's a she, the head of a crocodile, fur of a lion, see, and the body of a hippopotamus, though I would not say that to her face. Now, as you can see, she is ready to devour any of the deceased who do not pass judgment. Sort of like me with your weekly quizzes. So I am not quite sure why I don't hear more frantic scribbling right now.
Psst. Hey, Mr. Kid. Desk. Look at it.
Schon wieder ein Brief. Heute Nacht, wenn mein Papa schläft, schleiche ich aus dem Haus und übernachte am Strand. Wenn du mitkommen möchtest, zeichne mir ein Bild von Herrn Isaac mit Verstopfung. Chat, warum habe ich das dumme Gefühl, dass wir verarscht werden? Ich habe irgendwie das Gefühl, wenn wir das jetzt machen, dann sieht der Lehrer das oder sie gibt das dem Lehrer. Eins von beidem. Entweder der Lehrer sieht es oder sie gibt es dem Lehrer so. Also ich hätte schon Bock mit an den Strand zu gehen, aber... Hier, wisst ihr was, Chat? Ah, hier geht's noch weiter. Alles Liebe, das seltsame Nachbarsmädchen. Ist jedenfalls einen wunderschönen Abend. Wie geht's dir? Mir geht's soweit okay gerade. Und dir? Ich hoffe, dir geht's gut. Tim, wir machen's trotzdem.
Why is he so scared looking? Okay, I'll call you when I'm leaving my house. You better...
Ein Tag noch. Oh, Eltern streiten sich. Junge, etwas richtig Gutes. Alter, was geht denn bei der Mom? Ja, was ist denn da los bei der Mom? Am Strand übernachten, das ist cool, auf jeden Fall. Aber hör mal, unsere Mom ist ja übelst in dem Film, uns da irgendwo reinzudrücken, so.
Lights out. You need to be rested for tomorrow.
Sie
Memory
kommt da rein wie die
consolidates when you're
Polizei.
asleep. So if you go to sleep now, you will awaken a master.
Oh, okay.
Trust me.
Ja, ist mir schon öfter passiert. So, ich habe am Vorabend habe ich nicht gelernt und so bin dann schlafen gegangen und ich bin einfach aufgewacht und ich habe einfach in der Mathearbeit eine 1 geschrieben. Das war easy. Nein, Mama sagt das.
turn the lights off. Not just mom.
Ja. Du machst mich fertig, Richard.
Benny, damn it.
Benny, turn those lights off.
Junge,
Anybody?
armer Lavalampe!
We want the lights off.
We.
Mostly your mom.
Oh, all right.
Sorry.
Richard,
I got you.
you're sleeping
On the
in the
couch?
yard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
On the couch
yard?
in the yard
Oh,
tonight.
I didn't even book the couch?
Er muss einfach im Garten schlafen. Alter, der ist ein richtiger Hausdrache. Einfach eine Lavalampe, Chat. Das ist unsere Geschichte. Das ist unsere Geschichte. Rausschleichen, versuchen zu schlafen. Chat, wir schleichen uns raus. Wir scheißen drauf.
Wow, didn't think you'd actually pick up. I'm a sticky food.
Pommes, Dankeschön für dein Follow und Hillman, Dankeschön für den verschenkten Sub. Mein Kuss.
Out in the alley. Now.
Ich danke dir. Guck, Chat, das ist viel besser, Mann.
You know, I'm really glad you're here. There's something I've been meaning to talk to you about. Or to get off my chest.
Ja, ich glaube bei vielen Leuten.
Okay.
War bei meinen Eltern damals auch so.
I don't think Kongsters is actually a really good game. My cousin Yoon, he was in town this weekend, and he was explaining how it's actually a ripoff of a really good Japanese game. He calls it a cash grab.
Wow.
So I'm sorry that I made you like it because it's actually a terrible game. But I also think that if it was a really good game, maybe we wouldn't have enjoyed playing it as much. We would have been so focused on how good it was and not the feelings we had while we were playing it. Like, my favorite vegetable is the tomato. Yoon thinks that they're the grossest ever. And you're probably the least popular boy in the school, but I also like hanging out with you the most.
Oh.
Which was also something I wanted to talk to you about. I like hanging out with you a lot, which is weird because after what happened with my mom, I never like hanging out with anyone. So this has been a big surprise for me this year, in a lot of ways. I think I like that you let me talk. My cousin never lets me talk. My dad does,
Wow.
but I can tell he's not really listening.
Alter.
Probably didn't sleep at all. Out in the cold all night. You're already feeling sick, aren't you?
Warte mal, konnte
It's
ich jetzt
okay,
nicht...
you still got this. I mean, all the
Hat er jetzt
practice
nicht
has counts for
ausgewählt, dass ich da
something.
bleiben will?
Maybe just try and close your eyes now and get a little sleep on the way over.
In your own time, Benjamin, we are very excited to hear.
Alter, der sieht irgendwie aus wie aus so einem Schurkenfilm. Der könnte irgendwie aus, weiß ich nicht, irgendwie so irgendeinem Disney-Film der Bösewicht sein oder irgendwie so in die Richtung, ey. Na super, Chat. Jetzt geht's los mit Bach. Oh wei, oh wei, oh wei. Junge!
Oh, okay. I think that's enough.
Jo. Okay, Chat, wir haben verkackt, das war's.
So, Benjamin, why
das ist
don't
gut.
we plan on having you come back next year again, once you've had a bit more time to practice?
Ja, man, scheiß mal auf die Schule, ja, Bro.
As you know, Burton isn't the right fit for
Ja, halt deine Fresse, lass mich in Ruhe, ich will am Strand schlafen. Ja, Dankeschön. Komm, verpiss dich. Oh, jetzt ist Mama bestimmt richtig sauer.
Maybe I turned into my own father.
Einsicht?
I don't know. You have to find something to focus on. The world isn't very kind to people who aren't really good at something.
We want him home from school for a while. Just until this nasty thing clears.
Oh shit, was mit uns
Hey,
passiert?
Elle, would you mind taking a quick walk with me down to my office? There's a small clerical thing I need you to look at before I can let you two go.
Oh yes, of course. I'll be right back, Benny, okay?
Just maybe 5 minutes, kiddo. Okay?
Kiddo.
It's such a crucial time in his development. He shouldn't be confined to his room.
Nein! Chat, das Leben geht zu schnell vorbei, Mann. Sieht so schön aus, aber wenn ich jetzt blinzel, dann sind wir schon wieder weiter und ich kann das gar nicht mehr kontrollieren alles. Es geht zu schnell, Chat, es geht zu schnell. Zock mal ein bisschen Xbox.
This isn't video game time. I want you to figure out something actually productive to do while you're home from school.
Lavalampe, Xbox, was will man mehr? Giveaway? Nein, mein Boot! Chat, das können wir doch nicht weggeben. Ja. Oh, jetzt zeichnen wir wieder unser Boot. Wow! Ach so, wisst ihr, was wir gut können? Zeichnen. Chat, das ist es.
Why isn't your son eating with us, Al? No. You mean you haven't Vincent? Well, ever since he got sick, all he does is make art.
And Mr. Benjamin Bryn has been awarded first place.
Nice. Kunsthochschulbewertung, Frage 3. Beschreiben Sie in 2 kurzen Abschnitten, warum Sie einen künstlerischen Beruf ergreifen möchten. Sorry! Oha! JX, einen wunderschönen guten Abend, alles klar bei dir? Tschüss! DM, ganz, ganz viel Liebe an dich, Mann. Nicht dafür. Schön, dass du da bist. Dankeschön. Oha, Junge, das ist ja übel geil. Was eine geile Antwort. So Overkill.
You are not here to learn to be
Ja, die sieht schon mal lieber aus als der von eben.
You are here to learn to be artists. And although I was hired to teach you, it is a sham. There is no teaching art. So don't just sit there slack-jawed. Make art, you ponies!
Okay. Okay. Okay, Chat, nackter Mann. Oh, Adonis. Warte mal, ich finde den gut.
Oh, how very wacky and fun these are.
Ich finde den nice. Der ist super getroffen. Was ist das hier? Sind das deine Haare? Ich finde den super getroffen. Und jetzt noch hier?
It's very zany. There you go, Mr. Bryn.
Was ist das?
Feel each shape. Oh, you fiend.
Wir sind reich. Wir sind reich. Wir sind reich. Chat, wir sind reich.
I want you all
Wir haben
to take a
ausgesorgt mit dem
long
Bild.
look at what Mr. Bryn has done here.
JX glaube ich dir auf jeden Fall. Aber sei froh, dass du nur die Booster-Impfung hast, die gerade ein bisschen reinschaltet und nicht Corona an sich.
Deep within himself and created a masterpiece.
Ja, Chat, wir schwimmen im Geld.
Pray you have a strong hold on yourself, Mr. Bryn. For I fear a talent like these, you may soon be swept away by a whirl.
Endlich werden wir geschätzt. Hallo, Auge? Chat, meine Augen funktionieren nicht mehr. Oha!
I know that lots of agents gave you lots of cards, and it all probably feels weird and alienating and the opposite of what being a starving artist is supposed to feel like. But if I can teach you one thing, it's that if opportunity knocks, you open the door. Making a living isn't selling out. I wish I had thought of it that way.
Ooh.
Benjamin!
Don't worry. You're not selling your soul. Oh, look at that. You've crumpled my contract.
Und ich will ihn schmeißen.
To being a difficult artist, the best of us are.
Stößchen.
Ah, this is divine. So, now that you've grown your wings, tell me, young master, where will you fly? May I suggest somewhere abroad? This American air can be stifling.
Ich finde so nice, wenn man... Oha, das könnte eine Rakete sein. Ich finde so nice, wenn man zeichnen kann. Ne? Das ist so cool.
I bet you're happy you threw that contract in her face now. You didn't sell out, and you still got rich. Oh, but listen to me, Benjamin. Now is the
Jack, wir haben es geschafft! Oha!
Hey, Ben. Don't even pick up this call, okay? I mean it. I'm just calling to inform you that I went to the doctor today, and, well, I'm gonna be a little sick for a while, but really, I don't want you worrying about it at all. Oh, Benny, I told you not to pick up. There's nothing you can do for me right now.
Ist das unsere Mom?
All you can do is just keep painting,
Ist das unsere Mutter gewesen? Was für krank.
That's enough from me. Now, you'll hear from the person who I believe is the single thing in the world my wife was most proud of. Her magnum opus, so to speak. I think you all know who I'm talking about. Benny? You ready to come up here? Go on, B. Say something. What's wrong? Why aren't you talking?
Oh, man.
As you know, I talk to big, very important people every day. And there's one thing. You are a snake. You're a fraud. But worst of all, Benjamin, you're a little tease. I have told the world that Benjamin Brain is a genius. I have told the world that Benjamin Brain is silent because Benjamin Brain is hard at work creating his greatest work yet.
Ja, der ist auch mad.
Hey, B. Just calling to tell you. I think I'm selling the house. She's everywhere here, son. I can't move without bumping into her. Take whatever you want. With your mother gone, I'm hoping to finally live without all the clutter. I'm just so glad you got to speak to her one last time. I mean, I know she told you not to pick up the phone, but, well, I'm just so happy that you did.
Ja.
She just wanted you to focus on your work. That was the only thing that mattered to her. What's that? What's so fascinating, son?
Blair Witch habe ich schon durchgespielt, ja. Sehr cooles Spiel.
Look. It's unbelievable, Benny. It's like she's standing in the room with us. Like I can...
Uff. Eieiei. Der vergehende Tag, inspiriert von einem Musikstück seiner verstorbenen Mutter, der Komponistin Ellie Fishman. Mit der Schaffung dieses Werks rückte Benjamin die Arbeit seiner Mutter, die Lebzeiten relativ unbekannt war, ins Licht der Öffentlichkeit. Sie gilt heute als eine der einflussreichsten Komponisten ihrer Generation. Holy shit. Alter.
I just can't believe that my entire childhood I was living next to a bona fide genius. I should have guessed it. I mean, with all those little drawings you did. And your mom. I always heard her playing piano from next door, but I didn't know she wrote the actual music. She was a genius. Like mother, like son, I guess. Hey, so, not to be
Das ist das
forward,
geilste Bild, Chat.
but
Das ist das niceste Bild.
what are you doing after this? Maybe we could get a drink or something? I'd really love to catch up. I can't believe everything that's happened to you. I want to hear all about it.
Now would you look at that? I cannot believe my luck. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! You finally hit the jackpot, Flapjack. All the nobody nothings dying every day. You finally sink your hook into it.
Alter.
Oh, well, there you are. Well, hello, sir. If I had realized, I would have cleaned up. I'm just used to fishing up a different class of soul. I mean, sure, I've had scientists, a couple college athletes here or there, but whew, an internationally renowned painter? The gatekeeper's gonna eat you up. Hey, speaking of that, why don't we give your story a test run? Maybe you help me out with the word choice, since, you know, I'm still working on that.
Also ist dann praktisch irgendwie so der Doorkeeper für Seelen oder so?
Composition, if you catch my drift. Forget about it.
Was ist das Schiff, was wir gezeichnet haben?
Gatekeeper! Before you stands the soul of a great man.
Stimmt, ne, da vorne ist dieses Drehrad.
You describe yourself as a happy kid or a lonely one?
Ein glückliches Kind oder ein einsames? Ne, einsam waren wir auf jeden Fall nicht. Glücklich, ja.
His childhood was a happy one, growing up in a loving home, raised by loving parents in a quaint village by the
Ja, ich meine, einsam waren wir nicht ganz, weil ich meine, wir hatten halt unsere Familie, ne? Auch wenn wir jetzt vielleicht keine Freunde hatten.
Composer or an accountant? His mother was a composer who, with the need to support her family, took a job as an accountant. How would you describe her as a teacher? More encouraging or demanding?
Alter, also da würde ich sagen, fordernd, ja.
Therefore, as his piano teacher, she was over-demanding, forcing him to practice day in and day out, hoping that he might one day achieve that greatness that she never could. And how about that neighbor girl? What was she to you? Was she your best friend? Or your first
Ich glaube, die waren ineinander verliebt, ne?
Be honest here.
Sei ganz ehrlich. Chat, die waren ineinander verliebt, oder?
Man, you can tell me.
Übrigens, Eis, Jojo und Joker, Dankeschön übrigens auch noch an euch für eure Follows, Mann. Dankeschön. Und das Schlapfer, Dankeschön auch noch an dich. Kuss. Also ich glaube schon, dass die verliebt waren, ne? Da, wo die am Strand lagen, ich meine, ich habe halt weggeblinzelt, so, ne? So schnell kann's gehen. Da wollte sie noch was sagen und ich glaube, die waren verliebt dann, ne? Ja, verliebt, ja, würde ich auch sagen.
But on the eve of his big audition, he completely dropped the ball, staying up all night with his first love and blowing it the next day.
Nice. Sofort verkackt, Chat.
Now, from that moment forward, his mother gave up on him. She knew he didn't have what it took to be a truly great musician. But little did she know, she just picked the wrong medium, right? See, when he was 12 years old, he got sick.
Alter.
And he had to stay inside
Was hatten
for
wir
an
denn?
entire year. And in that year, he rediscovered a talent he'd forgotten. Painting. Sure, he loved finger painting as a child. Color and shape were the first languages he learned to speak. But for the first time, he saw it in a more serious light. He was accepted into an exclusive art school where he caught the eye of an esteemed professor who launched his work into the national
Der auch irgendwie ein Arsch war?
Now be quiet, all of you. With expectations on his career mounting, he stalled himself into bankruptcy, which turned out to be a blessing, for it wasn't until he returned home to the house he grew up in that he began work on what would ultimately be considered his masterpiece. I said shut up, you
Tja, das hat einfach hier.
you lucky fowls!
Tja, das hat einfach hier nicht mehr der Typ.
All right! I get it! I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Holy shit.
I had assumed as much anyway. I should probably tell you, those things, they're not regular goals.
Lügenvögel. Ah, das passt ja immer besser zum Chat.
They're what becomes of souls who try to lie to the gate.
Emilia, pass auf dich auf.
And once they try that, they're never allowed near her city again. I get to feeling bad for not defending them right, so they just stay on with me. Living reminders of my oratory shortcomings. Oh, yeah, good thinking. I'll be back to get you once I'm done with this one. Hopefully you won't be seeing him again.
Boah, die Soundeffekte sind gerade so krass in meinem Headset. Junge, das hört sich an, als wäre ich wirklich im Wasser. Also auf so einem Boot.
You're a flea-bitten sap, you know that? Just look at him. Poor fool doesn't know what he's in for.
Chad, was
Don't
passiert
think
mit
that I
uns?
haven't dealt with people like you. You're ashamed of something. Something so terrible, you're trying to blink right past it. Because if the gatekeeper knew, she'd have to dream up fresh new hells to punish someone as worthless as you. And I'm sure you're right. I'm sure you're the rottenest soul that I ever fished out of that black muck. And I should have thrown you back and sanitized my paws.
Könnte ein Lehrer sein, Alter.
But it's too late for that. We're in this together. And the gatekeeper, she'll see right through your fake lies as if they were glass. So I'm gonna ask you again to start from the very beginning. And this time, I want the truth.
Oh.
This ain't a schoolyard stair.
Oh. Chat. Ist die Geschichte gelogen, die wir erzählt haben? Oha, das wäre jetzt krass. Sind wir gar nicht so erfolgreich geworden? und haben das praktisch alles erzählt, weil, weiß ich nicht, wegen unserem Ego einfach, also einfach, damit wir selber sagen können, wenn wir tot sind, dass wir dass wir irgendwas geschafft haben in unserem Leben, so. Bonita, ich danke dir von ganzem Herzen. Schön, dass du da bist. Chat, wie geht's euch so? Bonita fragt euch. Mir geht's soweit gut. Ich danke dir, dass du nachfragst. Ganz viel Liebe an dich. Also entweder ich habe einen Fehler gemacht, weil ich gesagt habe halt so, wir waren verliebt so. Und wir waren aber gar nicht verliebt, das kann sein. Aber ich habe irgendwie auch das Gefühl, so, es könnte halt eben sein, so dass wir einfach eine Lügengeschichte erzählt haben. So. Weil wir, ja. Keine Ahnung. Weil wir wollten, dass unser Leben was Besonderes ist oder so.
Not this.
Nicht das. Okay, Chef, wir haben irgendwo gelogen.
Now play the C major chord I taught you. Remember?
Come on, keep blinking. I haven't found it yet.
Doesn't that make you feel happy? You know, my father once told me.
This. Stay here. What did your mother hear on that phone call?
Was? Nein!
Keep your eyes open.
Ich kann nicht, ich muss blinzeln. Okay, jetzt.
I'm getting it. Hello? Yes, of course. This is Elle, his daughter.
Oh, what is it?
See, she knew she hadn't yet lived up to her father's expectations. And now, she never could. Let's keep going.
What did you just say?
This isn't a trip down memory lane. I need you to stay focused. Yes, I understand about the cat. Let's keep going.
Immer die düsteren Stellen. Oh nein, ich darf schon wieder nicht blinzeln, Chat. Nein! Ah! Guck mal, ich darf nicht blinzeln, nicht blinzeln.
Let's try this again.
Alter, da blutet was. Nicht blinzeln. Chat, nicht blinzeln. Ist da ein Wolf oder so? Oh, endlich. Oh. Nein!
The death of those cats must have taught you a terrifying lesson. That simply being alive wasn't enough. So then you went to work to make yourself sensational.
Holy shit!
I like hanging out with you a lot, which is weird because after what happened with my mom.
I'm not worried about who you are, Benny. I'm worried about who you're going to become.
Hey, Elle, would you mind taking a quick walk with me down to my office?
Come on, keep blinking.
We can focus him. Make sure he's staying engaged.
Can you please try to speak a little softer? I really don't want him to hear us talking about this.
Was bedeutet das?
I need to hear what they're saying. Really try to recall it.
I mean, what's the point?
What do you mean? What's the point? What does that mean?
What's the point of any of it? If he's never gonna get any better.
Okay. Let's not say that. Okay? We know we don't mean it.
I know I don't. I know.
I mean, what if he heard one of us saying something like that?
I'd never forgive myself.
It's okay. He's asleep. But it's okay.
I see. You got sick. You howled at the moon, at the top of your lungs. You were sick for a long time, weren't you? Sicker than healthy kids are supposed to get? Well, no matter how painful it gets, I need you to remember.
Ach, scheiße. Oh, ne, echt jetzt?
This isn't video game time. I want you to figure out something actually productive to do while you're home from school. Try writing with it. Well, hello, Benny. It was your grandfather's, but I used it in college to write lyrics.
Chat.
Exactly. It was very artsy. Actually, I was just good at fooling your dad. Made him think I was some kind of genius. Why don't you write the story of your life so far? And then what you're going to do once you get better. That's the story I want to hear.
His childhood was a happy one. Warte mal, sind das meine Antworten? Raised by loving parents. Er hatte eine glückliche Kindheit und wuchs in einem behütsamen Zuhause auf. Großgezogen von liebevollen Eltern in einem beschaulichen Küstenstädtchen. Mhm. His mother was a composer.
Man, this is wild. You really got into this, didn't you? Oh, here I am. But on the eve of his big audition, he completely dropped the ball, staying up all night with his first love and blowing it the next day. First love? Okay, Benny. And you know, we really could have just slept on the beach another night. But I'm also glad we didn't because...
Na! Scheiße.
You are going to be in there for about 30 minutes.
Oh nein, die Röhre.
So try to get comfortable.
Müssen wir jetzt in die Röhre? Kennst du Röhresrad, aber natürlich.
You're doing great, buddy.
Chat, wart ihr schon mal in der Röhre, ja oder nein? 1 für ja, 2 für nein.
You're gonna be so annoyed with me, but
Mal ganz kurz für die Menschen, die noch wach sind.
Chloe reading loud from what I think was your story the other night. I know. I promised myself I wouldn't eavesdrop, but I would really love to read it if you'd let me. What do you say?
Ein paar.
You know I'm such a big fan of anything you do. I can't.
Just go in there and tell him you loved it.
I'm sorry, I just can't.
Oha.
Not right now.
Okay, don't worry. Just go to bed. I'll talk to you. Hey, B. Just want you to know that Mom loved your story. She's just, you know, I think it was just very emotional for her to read. But I thought it was great. I mean, look at this. His childhood was a happy one. Growing up in a loving home, raised by loving parents in a quaint village by the sea. I'm certainly glad you feel that way. But what I want to know is, where'd you learn to write so well? All those cool words. Reads like Dickens.
Benjamin Bryan war ein Verlierer. Er war der mieseste Bryan von allen. Er kämpfte nicht mal gegen seine Krankheit. Er legte sich einfach hin und starb. Ist das der Tod?
So, if he's ever in pain, all he needs to do is press that red button and the drug will administer itself.
Thank you so much. You know, I know my wife would normally want to thank you herself.
No, I understand. It hits mothers the hardest, this sort of thing.
Thank you for understanding. It's been a rough one.
Uff, was sind das Schmerzen? Sind das Schmerzen? Ist das der Tod? Sind das Schmerzen?
Hey, Eddie. Yeah, hey man, it's Richard. Listen, I know Elle's been missing in action, but I just want you to understand things have taken a really bad turn here. Yeah, no, that's not going to be possible. To be honest, your whole tone is pissing me off right now. Yes, I understand you have a business to run. It's a very cliche thing to say to me in a time like this. Okay. Well, then I guess all I can say is screw you too. I said screw you too. Yeah, man, that's all I got.
Hey, this isn't funny, you know. What? You're too scared to talk
Können wir
to me?
nicht mehr reden?
Well, just so you know, I know you're faking. Because if you were really sick, like actually sick, you'd have told me already. I happen to actually know about this stuff. So the fact that you are faking just so you don't have to go to school with me is actually ridiculous.
Oha,
I remember when you were just 4 years old. Mom was going through a pretty tough time. I mean, not as tough as now, but yeah, her music had been rejected, and she's having trouble adjusting to her quiet little life out here, and I feared that I was losing her. But then you played this on the piano, and Just her little hands reaching up for the keys. She just couldn't believe how gifted you were. And once she heard that, well, it was like you brought her right back to me. So, I was wondering if maybe you could do that trick again.
Also mal, das heißt jetzt, unsere Mutter ist nicht mehr da und unser Vater hat sich dann um uns gekümmert, oder? Jetzt und Nelly, Dankeschön für eure Follows.
How did you figure out how to play that?
Küsschen. Schön, dass ihr da seid. Boah, Chat, ich bin gerade so in der Story drin. Ich habe das Gefühl, seitdem wir das Spiel spielen, habe ich irgendwie so 10 Sätze gesagt. Ich meine, okay, was soll ich auch sagen? Ne? Ich meine, es ist halt die ganze Zeit durchgehend Geschichte. Es ist wie so ein kleiner Film. Aber trotzdem.
Keep playing, B. She's listening.
Hey.
What are you doing, Elle? She's gonna make you sick.
Oh, it's okay. I'm just so happy she's here. We've got to show this cat some real love. She's been through more than we can even imagine. She hasn't been over. Like, she didn't even care to visit?
No, I mean, I don't think he's told her.
And you're just letting that be?
I don't know her step. You know how Benny is.
She lost her mother a year ago. You knew that, right?
No, but what does that have to do with...
Okay, do we have her dad's number?
I don't know. Check the book.
Okay, I'm calling now.
Honey.
Okay, tja, ich habe das Gefühl, so langsam...
Oh my god, you're an idiot. You do realize this is really nothing special to me. I've seen this all before. I was thinking about what you said in the story the other day and how I reacted to it. I feel kind of bad. I shouldn't have done that. But... Hey! What are you looking at? Don't look up there. Look at me. I'm talking to you. I want to give you something. But I think I don't want to be in the room when you see what it is. So maybe if you close your eyes, I can give it to you and I'm gonna leave. Close your eyes now, okay?
Okay. Ich habe halt das Gefühl, so das Ende wird halt sein, wie wir gestorben sind halt, ne?
What is that?
It's something new I'm working on.
So you're writing again?
Ah, it's just a melody that came to me. It feels good to play it.
It's sad.
Yeah, well, that would make sense. But do you like it?
I mean, yeah. I love everything you do.
What do you like about it?
Not this old trap.
Go on. I'm waiting.
Well, it made me feel like...
Like...
Like if the unspeakable darkness I'm carrying can be so well expressed, maybe it's not so unspeakable. Nailed it, didn't I?
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty good.
It's okay, Benny, I understand. There's no need to show me anymore.
No,
You know, for a while now, I've wondered if I'm just not a good enough storyteller. If I just don't have grand enough words, can't tell grand enough stories. But grand words and stories, I think they may be overrated. I know just what to tell her. Watch for her now. I've seen the gatekeeper take many forms depending on the soul I bring her. But once you see her, you'll know. Believe me. I should go get ready. Don't worry. We got this. I think. There she is. Wish me luck.
Gatekeeper, before you sits the soul of a child who died before he could grow old.
That means she's ready to hear your story.
Chat, ich habe jetzt nicht schon wieder das Spiel gekillt, oder?
You know, I never told you how much I loved your story. It's really so imaginative, and the person you wrote about is such an interesting and intense guy. My only issue was, well, I didn't like him very much. So, I wanted to read you something I wrote for you, which is about the Benny I've known for 11 years now. It's called The Great Life of Benjamin Bryn. Benjamin Bryn was born into an ordinary home, to an ordinary mother and father.
In a small town by the sea. His mother was a composer, or at least that's what she dreamed she'd be. So, when her own dreams didn't pan out, she began to dream for him. But then,
when he was just 11 years old, he got
sick and was forced to stay inside for an entire year.
And in that year, he began to worry that he hadn't lived enough.
So he made up
of the great life he thought he wanted to live, which only
made him forget the great life he already had. How he had filled a new home with light and joy and promise. How he met a girl, his neighbor, who felt all alone in the world, and he made
feel okay again. And how? Even when he was sick?
He still gave his parents hope.
How he reminded them exactly who they were after they had almost forgotten. So when he knew he was going to go, he was okay. Because he'd already lived a great life, a full life. And he was everything he needed to be, just as he was.
She accepts. Close your eyes now, and keep them closed. She's gonna let you in. Go on.
Why is he smiling like that?
You know what to do.
He must be somewhere that he likes.
I wanna be somebody. Me 2.0 for you. And when you meet somebody, you're gonna feel the same way I do. I'm gonna say I love you before you say I'm gone. When that chance comes through, I'm gonna prove you wrong. In a market, in a desert.
Holy shit, Chat.
You'll remember why you came here.
Alter, what the fuck?
There's a couple pictures of you laughing. Grip tight to raffle tickets. I've got memories, but I'm slipping. You left some people in here wondering if you'll stay here or not. You wanna make some money, give a kid to dad.
Chat, das war echt heftig.
When he has some
Kann ich irgendwie raus oder so?
body.
Weil ich meine, das Lied kennen wir ja schon, das haben wir ja schon ganz gehört, das ist echt mega schön. Ja, das war auf jeden Fall mal ein heftiges Game. Holy shit, Mann. Wahnsinn. Krass. Aber ich finde es irgendwie voll schön, dass am Ende dann eben noch gesagt worden ist, dass wir gelächelt haben, als wir gestorben sind dann. Das war echt schön. Du kannst alles von Battlefield bis sowas. Ja, das ist true. Ja, krass, ne? Und das einfach mit 11 Jahren. 11 fucking Jahren. Holy shit. Ja, es ist krass, ne, wie schnell das Leben vorbeigehen kann. Also man sollte das auf jeden Fall wertschätzen, dass man hier ist. Heftig. Echt heftig. Holy shit. Also da hätte ich nicht mit gerechnet, Mann, dass mir das so ans Herz geht. Bitte.